Hi guys, this is Mrs. Cornett, and this is the second video out of 3 for section 11.1. And in this video, I'm going to introduce you to one of the 2 systems of measurement. This video is going to be all about the U.S. customary units. So the customary units is the system that America uses and 2 other countries in the world. The majority of the world use the metric system, which is pretty interesting. You should look that up and see why America does not use the metric system like everyone else. But this is a short version of the U.S. customary units. Okay, so what we're going to work on in this video is converting from one unit to another unit. For example, can you convert 4 days into seconds? I think all of you could, because time is what we have memorized the most as far as how time works, how there's 24 hours in a single day, and how there's 60 minutes in a single hour and then 60 seconds in a single minute. And so I think you could convert this just really quickly by just a series of multiplication. But what I'm going to teach you is a specific way to convert the U.S. customary units. It's called dimensional analysis, and that is the bulk of this video. We are just going to practice this particular method is what I'm looking for. Like when you go to take your test in a couple weeks, I want to see that you understand this process of dimensional analysis. You do have this definition at the top of your notes. It says we are going to work with conversion factors. They are 2 equal measurements arranged as one fraction with different units. And I have some examples down here. Each of these fractions here are in different base units, but they are equivalent in their measurement. So look at the first one. You know 4 quarters equals $1. So even though 4 and 1 do not equal each other, because it is 4 quarters and $1, that does convert and that is equal. Same with 1 minute and 60 seconds, 4 quarts and 1 gallon, and 1 week is 7 days. And so we're going to use these conversion factors. We're going to match up identical measurements and use them as we are converting different units of measurements to others. Okay, so this is your first example on your notes. We want to convert 3 years to hours. I am specifically going to use the dimensional analysis method, and that is what I want you to use as well. The very first thing that I want you to do is take the given information, and I want you to write the given information in the numerator of a fraction and put the denominator as 1. I also want you to put the unit that's there. So I have 3 years over 1. Next, we are going to multiply it by one of those conversion factors. So we're going to find an equal measurement and multiply by it. Okay, so the first conversion factor on our journey from converting years to hours is we are going to look for a conversion factor that includes the word year. So let me just start off with this one. That 1 year equals 365 days. So even though the number 1 is different than the number 365 because of the unit that both of them are in, they are equivalent to each other. Because the first fraction had the unit years in the numerator, I want you to put years in the denominator of this next fraction. So this is 1 year, and then in the numerator, I want you to put 365 days. Let's do that again. I'm going to come up with another conversion factor. This time, I'm always going to look to my numerator. My numerator says days. Okay, I'm heading towards hours, so I'm not there yet. So I want to find another conversion factor that talks about days and hours. Because day is in the numerator, day is going to go in the denominator, and 24 hours will go in the numerator. Okay, the reason why I can multiply by these fractions is because they each have a value of 1. It is the same amount of time over the same amount of time. And so those are equivalent. Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. We are going to first cross out the units. We had years in the numerator. It's going to cancel with the unit year in the denominator. Days is in the numerator and day is in the denominator. So those are going to cancel out, leaving us only the unit of hours, which is great because that's what we want. And now we're just going to multiply straight across 3 times 365 times 24. Each of our denominators was 1, so we can just keep it as 1. And when you multiply that together, it is 26,280 hours. Okay, let's do that again. Now we are going from inches to miles. The very first step is to list out your given information in a fraction format with 1 in the denominator. So this is 52,891 inches over 1. Okay, now I'm going to look at the conversion factors to the right side. I need to have some conversion factors so that I can have inches in the denominator. And I am going to use, there's inches and centimeters, but I don't want to do centimeters. I'm going to use inches to feet. So I'm going to put the 12 next to the word inches, and in the numerator, I'm going to put 1 foot. What we have so far is that the unit of inches has canceled. If we were to stop the problem right now, it would be only converted to feet, but we want to take it a step further and convert it to miles. And so I am going to use that conversion factor. The feet are going to go in the denominator, that's 5,280, and 1 mile is going to go in the numerator. And so now our feet unit have canceled, and we are only left with the mile unit, which is good because that's what we need. And so this is what our fraction looks like: 52,891 times 1 times 1, and then denominator is 1 times 12 times 5,280. Multiply straight across the numerator, straight across the denominator, and then divide that, and you will get a little decimal point 83. So 52,891 inches is almost a full mile. Okay, next we have 2.5 gallons equals how many cups? So again, we're going to start with our given information. I'm going to 2.5 gallons over 1. Now I need to look for a conversion factor where gallons is included, and we can use 1 gallon to 4 quarts. Okay, so I'm going to put the 1 next to my unit gallon and put 4 quarts across the top. Okay, so right now our gallons unit has crossed out and we're in the unit of quarts, except I don't want to be in quarts, I want to be in cups. So I've got to find another conversion factor. 1 quart equals 4 cups. So now the quarts cancel the units, and we are left with 2.5 times 4 times 4 cups. And then do you see all of the denominator is 1? So it's 1 times 1 times 1. When you multiply 2.5 times 4 times 4, you get 40. And so in 2.5 gallons, there are 40 cups. Okay, now let's do 2 miles is how many inches? So, okay, first, rewrite the given information over 1. Now we're going to look for a conversion factor that uses the unit mile. 1 mile is 5,280 feet. So at this moment, the miles, the unit mile has canceled, leaving us with feet, but the problem is asking us to go a little further to inches. And so we are going to say 1 foot equals 12 inches. The unit of feet cancel. All right, and here's what we have left. We have 2 times 5,280 times 12 inches, and denominator was just 1 times 1 times 1. And so when you multiply, you get a total of 126,720 inches are in 2 miles. Okay, let's do that again. We want to know how many hours, or in 45,192 seconds. We are going to put the seconds in the numerator. We're going to put that over 1. This time we're going to use the 1 minute equals 60 seconds. And so whatever unit is in the numerator, that's the one that has to go in the denominator. The seconds cancel, leaving us in minutes, but we need to convert it one more time to hours. So now I'm going to use 1 hour equals 60 minutes. The minutes are in the numerator, so I'm going to put the minutes in the denominator and put 1 hour in the numerator. Now the minutes cancel, and we are operating in the unit of hours. And so let me just clean that up for you. We have the 45,192 times 1 times 1, and then our denominator is 1 times 60 times 60. 60 times 60 times 1 is 3,600, and then just type those numbers in your calculator. 45,192 divided by 3,600 is approximately 12.55 hours. Okay, I want to show you one more thing really quickly. We are going to use dimensional analysis to convert measurements that you have no idea what they mean. We have measurement units Zippo, Thor, lead, and pin. Number one says 2 leads equal how many Zippos? So just like before, we're going to put the given information in the numerator over 1. Now we're only given these 3 conversion factors under the relationship column, and we need the leads to be in the denominator. And so I am going to use this one right here. So this will be 4.5 leads in the denominator, 6 Zippos in the numerator. The leads cancel, and if we multiply straight across, that is 12 over 4.5. And let's round that to 2.67. Okay, next we want to know how many leads are in 5.7 Thors. So we're going to start with that given information, 5.7 Thors over 1. And I'm going to look up these 3 relationships, and the only one that uses Thor is this first one. 5 Thors are in 3.1 Zippos. So the Thors cancel, but I'm left in the unit of Zippos, which I need to be in leads. So I'm going to have to do one more conversion, and I'm going to put 6 Zippos in the denominator and 4.5 leads in the numerator. The Zippos cancel, and here's what I have left over. 5.7 times 3.1 times 4.5 leads over 1 times 5 times 6. Okay, I want you to multiply straight across that numerator. So it's 5.7 times 3.1 times 4.5. Ran out of room. 79.515. Divide that by 30. And let's cut it off at the hundreds. We'll say 2.65 leads equals 5.7 Thors. 2 more. 1.8 Thors equals how many pins? Our given information is 1.8 Thors. We'll put that over 1. We know Thors needs to be in the denominator. Again, that first relationship is the only one that uses Thors, and so we have to go there. Okay, the unit of Thors cancel. We're now in the units of Zippo, and we're going to need to put Zippos in the denominator. And looks like we're going to do the 6 Zippos is 4.5 leads. Y'all, I have run out of room. The Zippos cancel, but I need to do one more conversion factor. So leads is going to go in the denominator. Sorry, this is getting sloppy. It's 4.8 and then 2 pins. So the leads cancel, and we're operating in pins. And let me try to write it neat up here. The numerator is 1.8 times 3.1 times 4.5 times 2. The denominator is 1 times 5 times 6 times 4.8, and this is all in the unit of pins. When you multiply across the numerator, you have 50.22. When you multiply across the denominator, you have 144. So now we'll do 50.22 divided by 144 gets us the very small decimal, and I'm going to write it all the way down here in the bottom left side. I'm going to round it to the hundreds, so 0.35. Okay, last one. We are given 0.57 Zippos, and we got to make it all the way to pins. And so I am going to use the conversion factor that 6 Zippos equals 4.5 leads. And then I'm going to use the 4.8 leads is 2 pins. Okay, so the Zippo units cancel out. The leads unit cancel out, so we're left in pins. So our numerator is 0.57 times 4.5 times 2. The denominator is 1 times 6 times 4.8. The numerator is 5.13, which I got no room. I'll write it up here, 5.13 over the denominator is 28.8. Type that into your calculator. 5.13 divided by 28.8, and let's round to the hundredths position. That is about 0.18 pins. So write the answer down here, 0.18. Okay, dimensional analysis takes practice, so if you need to watch this video again, please do. Search YouTube for more videos or contact me for more help.